Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janani. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these patent earrings. They are inspired kinda by tartan or plaid. Also on this tutorial I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my updated process of sanding my pieces. For this project I'm using Sculpey Soufflé and Primo. I ran my background piece of clay through the pasta machine on the third thickest setting, which is about 3 millimeters. So to create the lines for this tartan pattern, I ran my color through the pasta machine on the thinnest setting. Then I used my tissue blade to cut strips off of this sheet of clay. To give my pattern some interest, I did not care to keep these strips even. Then I began placing these strips on the background clay horizontally. And of course, I cut away the excess. I also did not care to keep the space between these stripes even. I cut more of these strips to add vertically as well. Again, when adding these ones, I did not keep them even either. And I repeated this same process with two other colors. I do wish I kept the stripes a little bit thinner, but I think all in all it turned out really great. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Handmade for more behind the scenes and stuff that doesn't make it to YouTube. Also, if you would like to support me by purchasing a pair of earrings, I'm on Etsy under Fern Mitch, and also I have my own website. It's www.fernmitch.com. After I was done adding all the details, I put a piece of baking paper over my slab and then used my roller to kind of burnish and flatten the pattern. Then to cut the shapes for the earrings, I used cookie cutters. Like always, all the tools and supplies used in this tutorial are linked down in the description box. And I also cut some components off of black solid clay to offset the pattern. Next, I baked my pieces in the oven for about 1 hour at 225 Fahrenheit. When my pieces are nice and cooled down, I moved on to sanding. Like I mentioned on my last video, I updated my sanding method after seeing Kalyana Design's tutorial. I now use the electric callus remover. I will link her tutorial down in the description box for anybody who wanted to follow it. To begin sanding, I start with the 600 grit sandpaper. These sandpaper discs with velcro backs are really easy to use. And like always, I am using the wet sanding method. For this method, I begin dipping my pieces in a bowl of water that has a little bit of dishwashing liquid. I like this method because I think it cleans up really nicely and there are no dust particles ruining your work table and going everywhere. Since this particular shape was hand cut, this needed lots of work. Here I'm gently going around the shape and cleaning up any of the rough edges. This callus remover is very similar to the famous Poly Fast sanding tool. Good thing about polymer clay earrings are that they don't require that much sanding unless they are hand cut like mine right here. After all the rough edges were smoothed out, I changed my sandpaper into 1000 grit sandpaper. I use this particular sandpaper to mainly smoothen up the surface and round up the edges. Just a disclaimer, this is not the only way or the right way of doing things. This is just my way, the way I found that is comfortable to me. There are lots of other ways to sand. I see people using Dremels. I see lots of makers doing hand sanding. There are lots of stuff out there. I encourage you to try all of these things and find what's best for you. Here I'm taking the same 1000 grit sandpaper and kind of cleaning up the middle of the shape. Next, to finish my piece off, I jumped into 3000 grit sandpaper. This is mainly used on the surface to just kind of give that polished look. Next, I use my old nail sander with the drill bit attachment to drill the holes for the jump rings. You can always use a little hand drill to do this because polymer clay is really soft. Then I used an old toothbrush to get all the dust and gunk off. Since I wanted to do a pattern flash on these earrings, I used some acrylic paint and painted on the black parts of the earrings. I used a bowl tool to draw on some arches or rainbows and some dots onto the black pieces. Acrylic paints are a really great medium to work on clay. You can not only work on baked clay but raw clay as well. Since I used some acrylic paints on my pieces, I had to seal it off with some Dura clear matte varnish. Polymer clay usually doesn't require varnish, it's just your personal preference. It's always good to use a varnish if you did a surface treatment like I did. Then I assembled the pieces and added my earring post, and here's how they turned out. If you want more information on how I assemble my pieces, you can check my previous videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video.